Konnichiwa, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Japanese Faves series where we'll cover every major type of Japanese food. This tasty izakaya-style dish was inspired by Shimbo's crispy rolled chicken recipe in her great cookbook, The Japanese Kitchen. But I make mine with my Chicken Roulade technique from lesson 82 of my course, Learning to Cook Like a Pro, one small plate at a time. I use basil leaves, but use shiso leaves if you can find them, which makes it more authentic, but good luck. The name of this dish means grilled yaki, chicken, tori, roll, maki, or Tori-Yaki Maki. So let's start cooking. All right, now we're going to prepare the chicken breasts for the yakitori maki, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off kind of the pointed end of the chicken breast so that you have kind of a rectangular piece here, okay? I'll use those for something else. Then what we're going to do is slice these chicken breasts in half horizontally. Okay, so we want them to be the same thickness on both halves, okay? You're going to do that with each one of your chicken breasts. All right, now we're going to pound out the chicken breasts. And what I've done is I've put a piece of plastic down on my board here. Then I put the chicken breast pieces on top of that bottom layer of plastic. And I've given them enough space because we're going to pound them out and they're going to spread. So I want to put a little space between each one. Then I put another layer of plastic on top of that. Now we're going to pound these out. 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch thick. All right, now we're going to make the mirin mixture to go on the chicken, and I have in the bowl already about 3 tablespoons of red miso and about 3 tablespoons of white miso. Now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of mirin, and we're going to mix this up into a paste. All right, now what we want to do is spread or slather the miso mixture onto the chicken, and we're going to do it relatively lightly, okay? Partly to make sure that we have enough of the mixture to slather all the chicken, and partly so we don't overdo it, okay? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle very lightly with Sichimi togarashi. All right, now we're going to add the cooked bacon, and this bacon, as it says in the notes, should be browned and cooked through, still a little flexible so you can roll it, okay, because that's what we're going to do here. Not crispy so that it breaks apart and crumbles, okay? Okay, now we're going to add the basil leaves, okay? We're going to try to get pretty good coverage with the basil leaves. Okay, now we're going to add the scallions. Just sprinkle them on there lightly. And by the way, I'm using basil leaves. You know, you could also use shiso leaves. That would actually be a bit more Japanese. But shiso leaves are hard to find in the United States. Okay, I grew some a couple of years ago, and they grow really well. They grow easily, and they also almost take over the garden. But I grew so many shiso leaves, I didn't know what to do with all of them, so I actually stopped growing shiso leaves. Or shiso, I should say. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to roll these up and tie them, okay? And just start with this one here, I guess. We're going to roll it as tightly as we can, rolling that bacon and basil leaves and everything on the inside. Okay, now I can see that this one here did not roll real well. You'll also notice that they're different sizes, and that's just a function of how big your pieces are to start with, how much you pound them out. And you really, you know, I get very different sizes, even though I seem to start with pieces of chicken that are the same size. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to tie each one in 2 places with kitchen twine, okay? And, you know, there are better ways to tie that I've never really learned that well. So I just put a piece at each end and tie a knot. All right, now we're going to transfer these to a baking sheet. I'm putting them on a Silpat mat. You could put them on an lightly oiled baking sheet. You can use foil if you want. I don't use much foil because I don't like to waste it. Okay? Okay, now we are going to brush each one of the rolls, the maki, with some olive oil. And give them a very, very light sprinkling of salt. Okay, why? Miso is salty. If you watch my video on miso and my video on salt, you'll see that miso can be used as a salt substitute. Okay, we're going to brush them, brush that olive oil on there. All right, now I'm going to turn them back. This will be the top side. This will be the presentation side. Okay, now these are going to go into the oven, which you've heated to 350 degrees, and you're going to let them roast in there for about 15 or 20 minutes until they start to get some color. Okay, our chicken rolls were in the oven for about 15 minutes. Okay, now we're going to brown them in a little olive oil. By the way, you know, if you don't want to serve these, if you want to make these in advance, the thing to do is to do them through the oven step, and after they come out of the oven, chill them, and then you can come back whenever you're ready to finish them and do this step, which is the browning in some olive oil. How much olive oil? A couple of tablespoons. Okay, they are looking beautiful. I don't know if you can see the goldenness on this maki. Okay, now we're going to slice and plate. Okay, now we're going to snip the twine and pull the twine off. And now we're going to slice them, okay? Let's see, best way to slice them, you're going to have to look at them and see which way is the best way to slice. And we're going to slice them into pieces that are about ½ an inch thick, okay? Now, depending on whether you're serving this as kind of a main course or a small plate, you can serve this whole thing to one person, or you can serve just a couple of these pieces of maki per person, okay, if it's more of a small plate. Now we're going to plate up, and you're going to slice each one of your rolls just like that. Okay, now I've plated up 3 pieces of maki on a little bit of arugula. You want to plate them as artfully as you can, and then we have some of this ponzu dipping sauce with some grated daikon and just a couple little scallions, and then we're just going to garnish with some shredded nori. So that's it. That is Tori-Yaki Maki. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.